Welcome to Little Steps Big Gains and the 15-day Neuro-Drumming Challenge. In this video, we're going to talk about the fantastic benefits of drumming on the brain and the body. This challenge is neuro-drumming to help us with that connection. It is not drumming lessons. We are not going to learn on how to drum. But neuro-drumming is fantastic. It's an exercise modality where we can use drumming to improve the connections between parts of the brain that we'll talk about in a minute, our core stability, our upright posture, and our balance and stability. Drumming can influence the brain through something called entrainment. Entrainment is where you take two rhythms and you synchronize them together. So for example, rhythmic entrainment, that's where we have an external rhythm and we can synchronize our body to it, where all of a sudden you find yourself bopping your head or moving to a beat, or that's a rhythmic entrainment. But we also have something called neuronal entrainment. Neurons, they make up our communication pathway between different parts of our brain or our brain and our body. Neurons, nervous system. Now, neuronal entrainment, that is where we can get our brain waves to synchronize to each other through rhythms to improve the connectivity and the communication between different parts of the brain. When we drum, the entire brain just lights up with activity. Specifically, this is including the frontal part of the brain. We have a place called the motor and the supplementary motor cortex. It's a part of the brain that plays a huge role in planning and executing movements, and specifically rhythmic movements. Then we can go down to the middle part of the brain called the basal ganglia, often affected by Parkinson's disease. And this also plays a huge role in executing in our action. And this also includes processing rhythmic movements. And then we go all the way to the back of the brain and the bottom to a part called the cerebellum. That plays a huge role in coordination and the timing of our movements to synchronize them. So you can see all parts of the brain, including the auditory system, kick in and light up with drumming. This is why drumming is so fantastic for individuals with neurological conditions. Some of the research is really supportive for Parkinson's disease and ataxia. Specifically, even when individuals were drumming, they found an increased thickness on the outer layer of the brain in the back on the cerebellum. And that's why we're using drumming as a specific modality to improve the connections in our neurological system. Now, what kind of equipment do you need to participate? No equipment. You can use your hands in your lap if you want. You can buy rubber drumming pads if you like with drumming sticks, but you can also use things like pillows. You're going to see how I use a cushion and I put little X's on to improve my accuracy. You can use paper plates. I'm going to be using a laundry bin with a pillow on it, a doggy step stool, all these at-home things. Once again, you can use your hands, you can use chopsticks, spoons, spatulas, a lot of around the objects around the house that you can grab. No equipment is needed. Not only do you not need actual drumming equipment, but you also don't need any drumming experience either. I am not a drummer, but I was assisted by a drummer named Dean who helped me pick out the songs and the rhythms, but no prior experience is needed. Each session starts and ends with freestyle. During freestyle, you just focus on the rhythm and you're not trying to follow along with me. Between those freestyle songs, we learn 3 different rhythms that incorporate things like crossing the body to get some core stability in there, some posture, and then some hand-eye coordination. Once again, there's no need to follow along perfectly because there's no way to fail. This is about the process and not about perfection. Each and every rhythm has a way to slow it down or a way to increase the complexity so that everyone can find that just right challenge for them personally. And finally, a little bit more about me. I'm an occupational therapist, certified functional aging specialist, older adult exercise consultant. I'm certified in Tai Chi, Otaga, and LSVT Big. And I'd like to use those skill sets to incorporate them into these free home exercise programs. So I hope that you jump in and join along because little steps together, we can make some big gains.